It's coffee time.
Hi guys, today we have a reading vlog, a very special reading vlog because it is Valentine's. February is always around Valentine's Day, which is something that, funny enough, I don't celebrate. I used to celebrate it when I was a teenager and I still believed in love.
What did he say?
Scratch that. But to keep the spirit of Valentine's Day alive, because I also don't want to be a party pooper, I decided that these Valentine's Day I'm going to be reading 3 books that are, you know, related to boyfriends in one way or another, and those are 3 Fear Street books. It is these 3 here, and first let me complain about the fact that they are so different editions, different sizes. I don't know why they do this to me, but it is what it is. So last year I wanted to read this book, Broken Hearts. Spoiler alert, I didn't. And because I didn't read it for Valentine's Day, I thought I would keep it for, you know, 2024 for Valentine's Day. So here we are coming full circle. So I decided how fun if I read this book on a vlog for Valentine's Day, but I thought maybe one book is a little bit too little, so I decided to add 2 more of the Fear Street books that kind of, you know, could be potentially Valentine reads. The other one is this one, which is called The Boy Next Door, which is something, you know, a lot of teenagers hope that the boy next door will ask them out, so I thought this one would also kind of fit. And the other one is this one here, The Cheater. Need I say more? I mean, it is related to love, to a more downside of love, right? So I thought this would be a great mix of books to read, and obviously these are Fear Street books, so I thought even if I'm reading kind of romance or books about teenage relationships, at least there's probably some sort of mystery, murder, or something's going on in the background. Someone's obviously cheating, or let's say allegedly cheating, until we have actually read the book and see what actually happens. You know, not that the title is misleading, and I don't want to, you know, point fingers and make accusations ahead of time. Also, another warning, I'm still sick, but it's also part of love, you know? So I think we're gonna read these 3 books for Valentine's Day together this year. The first thing that we're gonna do is actually to go make ourselves a hot beverage. I am really enjoying tea since I have been sick for the past couple of days. I do still try to get my coffee in the morning, but when I'm sick, one of the downsides of being sick, as if it was not enough to feel awful, coffee doesn't taste nice when you're sick. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, so it is the hardest part of being sick, not being able to enjoy my coffee. Since I already have my coffee this morning, I'm gonna make myself a tea, and then we're gonna get comfortable so I can start reading my Fear Street books. Alright, you guys, we have acquired the tea, we have acquired the blankie, so now we have to decide which book we're going to start with. Or die with it. Maybe I'll just die. Okay, so we have The Cheater. Now he has to pay. We have Broken Hearts. Valentine's Day Can Be a Killer. And The Boy Next Door. They Were Flirting with Death. Okay, so I have checked the plots for all of these 3 books, and I would like to first of all apologize for The Cheater. It is not about a guy cheating on the girlfriend. You see what happens when you jump to conclusions. When you have been scarred by life, this is what happens. So basically somebody that wants to cheat on an exam and demands a date in exchange. So we have that. We have the one about the Valentine's cards that might end up in murder. And we have The Boy Next Door, which is about the boy next door, obviously called Scott. And the last girlfriend that he had mysteriously died. So Scott has a lot of things, you know, to confess about. So I think it might be best maybe to start with The Boy Next Door and then move on with the other ones. So I think we're gonna go for this. Also, if somebody's interested, which probably you're not, but I'm drinking lavender tea, which is something that I really enjoy. Lavender tea, things that taste like lavender. I love it. I also like the color, obviously. So let's get into our first book, The Boy Next Door. Okay, so the book already starts spilling the tea on Scott and letting us know what happened to the deceased girlfriend. Apparently, she went to dive into the pool and there was no water and she went head first. So you might imagine what happened. What concerns me is that Scott says, I waited until she took her last breath, then I screamed for help. What were you waiting for? If she cracked her head open on a swimming pool bottom, like, what are you waiting for? Call the ambulance. So you wait for her to die and then you ask for help? It's not helping your case. It's not. And that I'm only in page 3. And I already don't trust you, Scott. I don't. But this probably might be a red herring. Because that would be maybe a bit too obvious. But so far, Scott, not looking good for you. Also in this vlog, I'm not gonna spoil the ending or anything like that, but I'm gonna go a little bit in depth about the characters and things that are happening, but I'm obviously not gonna spoil the ending. But I do want to talk a little bit about what the books are about and go a little bit more into the details in these vlogs so that we can discuss a little bit more what the books are about instead of brushing more through them. So just for you to know, so far, not looking good for Scott. So I'm still on page 3 and this book keeps getting more and more problematic, and I'm not sure if it's intended for us to hate the character of Scott or if it's just so outdated that is outrageous. I always have some issues sometimes with the Fear Street books on the way that females' bodies are being addressed and stuff like that, which is kind of outdated. But right now Scott is being a prick. I don't want to call what I really think because I would have to mute it for YouTube. But basically he is kind of saying this has all happened not because of him, it's not his fault, but his girlfriend, deceased girlfriend, Dana, gave him no choice because he says that she started dressing in those short skirts, wearing all that makeup, acting so wild, so disgusting. Excuse me? So he's hoping now that he's gonna find a girl that knows how to behave and stay away from girls that are like Dana. Excuse me? Let's keep reading because I literally only made it to page 4 at the moment. And we're already not friends. We're not friends. Okay, so here's the deal. There's 2 best friends that see that there is a new neighbor moving in next door, and the new neighbors happen to have a very handsome son, and that's Scott. So Scott is moving to a new neighborhood on Fear Street, obviously, and the 2 friends are hanging out next door, and they obviously think that he's very attractive. So the 2 friends, together with one of their sisters, decide, let's play a game. Let's see who can get this guy first. And there's something I don't like about that, like competing for a man's love. But let's face it, I'm reading Fear Street books and romance kind of Fear Street books, so I'm doing this to myself. And it's also teenagers. But the three girls are talking, so two of them are the ones that are mostly using makeup and using sexy clothes and stuff like that. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Wear whatever you want, put whatever you want on your face, on your hair, whatever works for you. But they are criticizing the other girl because she's always wearing like joggers and oversized things and doesn't wear makeup, and they're criticizing her, saying she could do so much more for herself and boys will like her more if she tried. I don't like that. I don't like that. You do you, boo. You wear whatever you want. If you want to go with joggers and never put on makeup on your face, do you. Like, it should not influence if a guy likes you or not. If certain guys don't like you because of that, they're not the guy for you. Period. But again, teenagers. Sometimes it's hard to disconnect when you're an adult because you would like to slap them in the face and be like, this is not it. But you know, it's also, I guess, part of the fun of reading these books as an adult, to see how teenagers behave. Even though a lot of the times when I read Fear Street books, I don't think is an extremely accurate portrayal of real life teenagers, or at least I don't see myself, or when I was a teenager, I didn't do these things. I didn't compete, for example, for someone's love. I don't know, I didn't think that painting my nails was gonna make somebody fall in love with me. But maybe it was just me. So I guess we all have also different experiences when we are teenagers. But anyways, I'm gonna keep on reading because I'm only in page 28 and I'm already talking way too much. So basically, that's the tea. Scott has moved in new on Fear Street. Three girls are trying to get a date with him, and whoever gets the date first wins. That's the game.
A few moments later.
Time for another update. I'm on page 60, and there is something that was mentioned that I think is going to be relevant later. So they mentioned that Crystal and her sister Melanie have almost the same voice, to the point that people confuse their voice over the phone. And I'm assuming this is going to play a part later. One of them is probably going to start going out with Scott. They're going to fight about it, and their voices are so similar that the other one might impersonate the sister. You know what I mean. But things are getting better. There is this other character called Jake, and he calls out the girls for their BS. And I like that. So basically the girls are still trying to get Scott's attention, and they will do anything. And Scott is trying to push them away because he doesn't trust himself and what he can do. Apparently certain moments where he thinks he goes into a trance, into a dream, bad things happen, and it's something he cannot control, and that is when people get hurt. So I guess that's related to what happened to his ex-girlfriend a year ago, and maybe it's something he can actually not control. So even though he's a prick, because he shouldn't be judging females by choosing to wear lipstick, but still, the things he does, he might not be able to control himself. So I don't think he might be hurting people on purpose. It's just when people piss him off, something in his psyche gets him into a trance, and instead of that dream, he hurts people for real, even though he thinks it's a dream. So, not saying it's redeemable quality, not saying it, but let's keep reading, you guys. Let's keep reading. Next update, you guys. We are on page 116. There have been casualties, and everybody's still kind of in love with Scott. He's still struggling with his inner demons, trying really hard not to hurt girls that are bad girls. There is a little peek into his family, which is what leads me to believe that what he thinks is appropriate and some things that a good girl should do. It's also coming from his parents telling him that girls with little skirts and girls with makeup are bad, bad, bad. So his trauma and the reason why he's being like this might have been influenced by his parents. It doesn't excuse that he's the way he is. He is his own individual, but he hasn't had the best parents. So, and also, some of the girls are now changing their appearance, or specifically one, in order to appeal to Scott. And I guess it's a cautionary tale. Girls, you don't have to change anything about you. If a guy likes you, a guy likes you. Doesn't matter what you wear, what you look like, how your hair looks like, how your face looks like, if you have makeup, if you have nail polish on your hands. It doesn't matter. Trust belief. If somebody likes you, they like you for you, no matter what you decide to wear. And I'm not also saying you should never wear lipstick because I do. You should never wear makeup because I do. But at your own level, the things that you want, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with either or sides of the spectrum. And it's a cautionary tale. Basically, do whatever you want, wear whatever you want, do whatever you want. And if you try to change yourself, you might run into a Scott. And, you know, Scots are not good apparently in this book. So I'm gonna finish it. I think I'm gonna be able to finish it today, just in one day. I love these books as well because they are so short. You can read them in one sitting, and that's very fulfilling. Plus, it helps towards your Goodreads goal. And they're a fun, you know, cheesy read. You don't have to think too much. Well, I'm really selling these. No, honestly, I really have a lot of fun reading Fear Street books. I know what I'm getting myself into. I know they're problematic for obvious reasons, but they're still fun to read. I finished the book. I cannot believe it. It's only taking me a couple of hours to read these and rejoice in the fun of being a teenager again. So the ending of the book was not as strong as other Fear Street books. Like, I could see things that they were going to utilize towards the end. But there's something that happens in one of the end scenes that I thought was quite silly, to the point where I thought it was too silly, if that makes sense for a Fear Street book. But I kind of wish they would have done that kind of end scene thing more interesting, more thrilling. However, it is an intense Fear Street book. There are people that do perish in this one. And, you know, there are some things that you can take away from this, which is, first of all, never change your appearance for a guy. Also, you should not make a competition, really, with your best friends on who's gonna get the guy first. Not very healthy. You should not put, like, your friendships and your sister after the mister. No. But it was just a fun, quick read. Honestly, I never really rate these books too high. I don't read these ones for my favorites of the year. I don't know what I would have thought if I would have had access to these books when I was a teenager. Probably the way I would have read them back in the 90s would have been very different from now. This was published in 1996. So if myself from back in the day would have read this, probably would have interpreted things differently. So just keep that in mind. These are written for teens, not for adults. But I'm satisfied with today. It's nearly 7 p.m. So it's nearly time for me to make dinner and probably just watch a TV show and go to bed. So I will be catching up with you guys tomorrow, and we will be able to start with book 2 of this Valentine's vlog. as you can see, I started reading the second book for this vlog. So I started reading Broken Hearts. I made myself a beverage. Now I wanted to do something related to Valentine's Day, obviously, but I didn't want to drink anything alcoholic today. So I thought, a pink drink? So this is what I came up with. Very simple, nothing special, but tasty. So I also got my nails done in red, fashionable for Valentine's Day, that I don't celebrate, except with you guys. I celebrated with you. So I started reading Broken Hearts. So let me tell you what's happened so far. Let's discuss this. So there is kind of like a prologue about an accident that happened back in September. So after the accident, now we are in February, so we're getting ready for Valentine, which is what hopefully I'm gonna get with this book. It says Valentine's Day can be a killer. Similar to the first book, we follow here also a group of girlfriends, and 3 of them are sisters. So we have 2 sisters. There are twins that are 16 years old. One of them is the one that suffered the accident, so she's recovering from that. She's not doing very well at the moment. And the other one is a younger sister that is 14, called Erica. So 2 twin sisters of 16 years old and Erica that is 14, plus their friends, and they're all getting ready obviously for Valentine's Day. And Josie, who is one of the twin sisters, receives a Valentine's letter in the mail, I think 5 days before Valentine, which wouldn't be weird if it was actually a letter from her boyfriend. But this letter comes from a stranger, and it seems to be a threat. So let me quickly read to you what the letter says. It says, violets are blue, roses are red. On Valentine's Day, Josie will be dead. And that's all I know. I made it to page 40 so far. And I'm excited to see who is the mysterious person that sent this letter to her. Is it one of the girlfriends? Is it the boyfriend? Is it another boy she dated before? Because you see, Josie has dated many guys in the past. She always changed boyfriends really quickly, so it might be an ex, I don't know. But that is kind of like the mystery that we have to solve in this one. So things are progressing. Basically, we still don't like Josie because she's very mean to her sisters and she doesn't want to spend time with her twin sister that is sick. And now she just received another Valentine. It says, this Valentine's Day, no memories to save. The only flowers for you will be on your grave. Beautiful. Beautiful writing. So don't know what's coming for Josie, but so far she kind of deserves it. I'm in page 61, chapter 7, and the chapter's name is I Hate Josie. I Hate Josie. That's the chapter's name. So I think, obviously if it wasn't obvious from the Valentine threat letters, someone is really not happy with Josie, and I know why. She's a bitch. So I guess in this book we're going to be talking about mean girls. In the first book, all the girls wanted to get the same guy and they were ready to fight for it. In this one, Josie is just mean to everybody, to her sisters. Always mean girls in these books. Betty. Good morning, guys. It is Sunday. I had a shower. I went to feed all of my cats outside. As you can see, they just keep showing up. 3 of them, we believe, are from 2 neighbors down. The other one, we don't know who he belongs to, but he shows up a lot as well. So mostly we have 2 to 4 cats in our garden at all times, even through the days where it snowed. Like, they just keep showing up. It's nothing I can do if I'm a good cat lady. So we're gonna have a coffee now. Gotta finish this coffee. Yeah, that's good. So I thought it was a good time now for a coffee break. I have also been sorting out more collectibles that I need to put up for sale. I did have a huge Funko Pop collection and I do not see where I would put them in this house. So I have been selecting the ones that I really want to keep and then getting rid of the rest. By getting rid of, I mean just reselling them. And that has been quite good for me because I had so many. It has been good to prioritize which ones I want to keep. And just make a selection of the ones that I really care the most about, because it's so easy to get carried away with Funkos. And if you have the space, amazing. If I had the space, I would keep them all, but the reality is I don't. So some of them have to go. So I've been sorting them out, and the majority of the ones that I'm going to be keeping are the horror ones. So I thought I would have now a coffee break. And sit down and finish Broken Hearts because those Fear Street books, they're quick and easy to read, they're fun, and so I'll have another one down. Let me show you some of the Funkos I'm keeping. I'm keeping the Gilmore Girls, important. I'm keeping a couple from Big Bang Theory, and mostly here are the horror ones. Yes, I have this ones here. And here on the other side, I have some of the classic monsters, some supernatural. Yeah, I have space there in the middle for more. And these are the last ones that I have here. And even though the weather is getting better, honestly, I still enjoy getting my blankie for as long as I can until the heat really comes. Because there is just something so comforting being under a blanket. Like, I am no longer able to read or be on the couch relaxing without my blankies. Like, it is a priority. So we're gonna drink our coffee and I'm gonna keep reading the Fear Street book. So we were reading Broken Hearts and so far I made it to page 70. So let's keep reading. Quick update on page 100. So there are some horror tropes in this book, and one of them is basically the parents are almost never there They're barely mentioned, and with all the things that are going down and everything that has already happened, I wonder why they are not more present. But I think I can cut them some slack because that's something that used to happen a lot in YA books. I feel like nowadays authors are trying to include the parents more because it truly makes it a little bit more realistic, even though we don't have to focus on the parents because we're here to learn about the mystery involving the kids. But what I can tell you is I'm enjoying this one more than the other one because I feel like this one is giving me a lot more character depth, and the mystery of who is the person sending the Valentines is interesting. And so far, I don't know exactly who it could be because there are multiple options. So we have Josie, and she has become the main character. And Josie is a character that is not really a likable character because of the things that she does and she says. She's very mean, she's very disrespectful. I mean, she's someone that you would say, you know, she deserves to get these threats. And I think she's a character that is living with a lot of guilt. And I think when you're guilty of something, you're very paranoid. You're very suspicious of everything around you. And I can feel that in Josie. Josie is carrying a lot of guilt because her twin sister had an accident, and she's still not recovered from that. So Josie has a lot of guilt, and now anything that anybody says or does puts her kind of in alert. And because she's receiving these threats through the Valentine cards, she's kind of in like defense mode. And I'm not justifying anything that she's saying or doing because she's still being a bitch, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like there's a lot more character depth to her. So there's a lot of more character development and a lot more interesting things going on in this book in comparison to The Boy Next Door, which was a little bit more like superficial level, not so interesting in that regard. So I feel like this one, the mystery is better, and also the characters are better. So far I would recommend this one over the other one. So if you were considering and picking one of these three, I would say for now Broken Hearts has been the best of the three, but we shall see. We still have to finish it and read the third book as well. Well, I have a last update for you guys, and the update is I finished the book. I finished Broken Hearts. So what else can I tell you without spoiling the book? So when Valentine's Day came around, something did happen. People did get hurt. Actually, several people get hurt in this book, so there's a lot more attacks and deaths in this one than the other one, which is also plus points for me, let's face it. And there is also a fast forward into Valentine a year after, and more things that happen, more suspense, more mystery. So far from the two that I've read, this one much better. Great mystery, had a couple of twists and turns, and I thought the characters had a lot more depth to them. So this is a great pick if you want to read a short book for Valentine. And I really love this cover as well, and that thing here in the locker with a broken heart and says "You're dead." This is also part of the book, which I thought was really cool. So the cover does kind of reflect something that happened in the book. So yeah, love the cover. This one was fun. This one was better than the other one. I really enjoyed this one. So 2 down. I have 1 more to go for this vlog, but it is a little bit later on Sunday, and I still have to make dinner, and we still have to go visit a friend today. So I'm gonna call it a day for today, and I'll catch up with you guys during the week, and we will be reading the last one, The Cheater. So I'll see you guys then. Time to do a cat check. Hi babes, here's Logan. Here's Morby contemplating life. He probably is considering every decision he ever made. Wondering why he's my cat. Hey Morbius. How is it? You enjoying the birds and the bees? Yeah? Okay. Hard life, as you guys can see. And all the way over here, we have my baby. Hey baby. This is Lilith. I mean, she's old. She's older than the boys, but she's so tiny that she will always be my baby. It is time, you guys, to read today the last book for our Valentine's vlog. Today we're gonna be reading The Cheater. And I do most of my reading on my reading room, on my room where I have all the books, where I record videos, etc. But I wanted to give you a different perspective today because I thought maybe this vlog is gonna be boring if I'm just sitting in the same room, even though I'm talking about different books. And I was hoping that the weather was gonna be better so I could sit outside in the garden, but unfortunately it's a no for the Netherlands, as I could have expected. So it's been raining on and off, it's all wet. I can't sit outside and enjoy the weather and my book for now, so we're stuck in the living room. I don't know if you can see, but it's been raining on and off, so everything is wet, table, everything, and probably I will go outside and sit for like 2 minutes and then it's gonna start raining again. It's also windy, it's not really nice weather today, so sadly, until spring comes around, this is what we're working with. So we have the book ready, we have a fresh coffee ready, we have a blanket, so it's more comfy. We have Lilith over here, it's already waiting for me. And I made here in the corner a little reading nook. I always do this when I want to be comfy watching movies or reading. So full of pillows just to make it more comfy. Sometimes comfy also means I might fall asleep. Let's be honest. And there is Morby also ready to join the party. So let's get to reading. So what the synopsis is telling us is that Carter Phillips is under a lot of pressure to pass one of her math exams, and she has never ever cheated in her life, but she decides now to get Adam to take the test for her because she's desperate, and in exchange she has to go on a date with him. So let's see what happens. Apparently Adam wants more than a date, so we shall see. I have seen this one has mixed reviews on Goodreads. Some people loved it, some people didn't like it so much, so we shall see. So apparently Carter has a father that is putting a lot of pressure on her. He's a judge and has a really good job, so he expects the same from the daughter. And so Carter has decided to retake a math test to get a better grade. And so I'm guessing because she's under a lot of pressure, she has decided that it's okay if she cheats for one time because she has to please the dad. So we already have daddy issues here. Adam overhears Carter telling her friends how she needs to retake the test and how it's gonna be impossible for her to get as many points as she needs to please her dad. And so he makes her the offer, you know, I'll take the test for you, you go on a date with me. So Carter thinks, I don't know if I should, this guy comes from like a poor neighborhood, he always hangs out with the wrong crowd, but she's really desperate. So she takes the help and she thinks just one date, it's not gonna be a problem. But apparently Adam already has a girlfriend. Like, what the hell, Adam? What the hell? And also Carter has a date already Saturday with Dan. But Adam says, break it off. You're not going out with him, you're going out with me. I'll take the test for you. So we're already starting in a really toxic situation here. A lot of people are getting hurt. I don't think this is gonna end up well. It is a Fear Street book, so probably it's not gonna end up well for everybody, let's face it. But already, only in page 12, so much drama, like seriously. So we shall see if I enjoy this one as much as I did Broken Hearts, because so far it's been the one that I've enjoyed the most from these three. But so far it's like a lot of drama and a lot of toxic relationships, because also the relationship that Carter has with her dad is very toxic. He also keeps pushing her to go to a specific college. He doesn't even ask her what she wants to do. He keeps saying that he's disappointed, you know, that she's not getting enough points in math and this and that. But he's also not helping her. It's like very toxic as well. It is time for a quick update. And as you can see, the cats are passed out. Good life. So I'm around page 50. Let me update you with the drama. And as always, I'm gonna talk about things that happen in the book, but I am not going to talk about spoilers when it comes to the ending or the twists in the story. I'm going to leave those out in case you guys want to check out the books. So basically, Carter has gone out on a date with Adam as she promised, because he took the test for her. The date went really well, so well actually that they kissed and everything. The next day, Adam showed up at a tennis match at the club, because Carter comes from good money and he doesn't, so it's kind of like the clash of two worlds. Anyway, they played tennis, went great, but he keeps demanding things from her. Now he wants a second date, then he asks for something else, and she kind of feels that obviously he has something to hold over her, because he could tell people anytime that he's the one that took the test. And so basically he's blackmailing her to go out with him and to do other things. And yeah, very toxic, like I said. But I am enjoying it, to be honest, and I am curious to see where things are gonna go, because obviously Adam has a girlfriend. She's mad because she suspects somebody is going out with Adam and she wants to know who's that bitch. And also Carter and her best friend Jill also have boyfriends. But now Adam is getting in the middle of all of it. So there's a lot of teen drama here. But I'm interested to see how things are going to develop. What else is Adam gonna ask Carter to do? How far is he gonna take it? What does he really want? Is it just going out with her? Is it something else he wants from her? Does he want money, or who knows? I don't know. So I'm excited for that part of why is Adam so obsessed with this girl, because they are from different worlds and they don't really match with each other. They come from different neighborhoods, different families, different groups of friends. So why is he so obsessed? It's just because she was someone he couldn't get before, like she would have never agreed to a date with him before the test. Or is it because he wants money? We don't know. So a lot of things have happened in the book. I'm currently on page 116, and boy oh boy, things escalated with the blackmail, and also Carter had been lying to all her friends, family, and these things never end up well. Plus she had a lot of guilt about all the lies, about cheating in the first place. So it's been quite interesting, you know, to see all of those dynamics and relationships. And also somebody has been murdered. At this point, I'm going to tell you who or why or what. But somebody has been murdered, so now we have to figure out who did it, which is something that happens a lot in Fear Street books. Normally somebody dies either at the beginning or towards the middle end-ish of the book, and there's always a reveal of who's the killer at the end. But before I do, I need to feed some cats. And it's these cats here outside. They come every day. There's normally 3 to 4 of them. So they keep coming in different times of the day, asking for food and for cuddles. So let's go feed them. Guys. Hi guys. Yeah. update on the inside cats. Here's Logan. Hey babes. Then we have Morby here. You okay, babes? You okay? And of course, Lilith is still on the couch, like the princess that she is. The time has come to finish the book and figure out who is the murderer. I have a suspicion, but I don't know if I'm gonna be correct. I'll let you know, without spoilers, as always. Let's finish it. Yes, you guessed it. I have finished the book, and this one had a total of 152 pages. The Cheaters. So towards the end, there's many like reveals and twists and turns in the story. And to be fair, I thought it was very enjoyable because I have to give credit to a lot of things that were commented in the story, like, you know, a father-daughter relationship is very important in the book, which is something that not always, you know, is mentioned in YA books, so I appreciated that. Also, you have, again, this kind of theme of feeling guilty, of doing the right thing, of confessing to things, and what happens when you start lying, the lies pile up and you cannot stop lying. I enjoy that, and also I enjoy that they did a commentary a little bit on rich people and poor people. Interesting enough, the people that, you know, are a little bit poorer, that have more kind of like the wrong company, they all live in Fear Street. It's not a good place to live apparently, but I enjoyed it, and I thought this book had a couple of twists and turns. I think they did really well when it comes to hiding who was the killer in the book, and there were other reveals as well apart from that part, apart from the murder whodunit. So I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I think actually from the 3 books that I have read, my least favorite one has been The Boy Next Door. So the other 2 would be my preferred books if you guys are looking for a kind of like Fear Street short book to read. Those would be the 2 that I would prefer. I think maybe I like this one slightly more than Broken Hearts, because that one was still a lot more focused on just love, relationships, and jealousy, and this one I felt like it had a lot of different themes going on, and it was just not only focused on someone that has a crush on a guy or something like that, and I appreciated that as well. So because of that, I think this has been actually my favorite of the 3, so I guess we're ending on a positive note. Anyway guys, I hope that you enjoyed this reading vlog. It's gonna go up exactly for Valentine's Day. As I've mentioned before, I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. Now I'm kind of forced to celebrate in a way, because if you guys didn't know, the 13th/14th of February is my anniversary with my partner. That's when we first kissed, and so it's kind of our anniversary. So now I'm kind of forced by the universe, thank you universe, to celebrate almost Valentine in a way. But when we want to go somewhere, we do it either a week earlier or a week later, because otherwise everything is really expensive and overbooked, so we don't care so much to do it exactly on the same day. But anyways, I'm going on a tangent here. I'm rambling around. Thank you guys as always so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this vlog. If you have any other type of books that you want me to read in vlogs, let me know down below. I'm always happy to hear your ideas. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!